Testing 1, 2, 3. How are we doing today, folks? How are we doing? All right. I know I'm live a little bit early, but that's fine by me. I got a little bit more time today, so I thought I'd go live a little bit early. Let me give me a moment while I get everything set up. We are technically 7 minutes early, 8 minutes early right now, so I do want to set everything up. And I see Bitcoin. I don't know. We get pumped here, but to me that's a rising wedge. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna do a top-down analysis of what I see going on in the Bitcoin world, and we will go from there. So if you guys are new, I appreciate if you just hit the like button. If you guys are watching me on TikTok, follow me if you guys are watching me on TikTok. And if you guys are watching me on YouTube, appreciate if you guys hit the likes, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell notification if you're watching me on YouTube so you get notified every time I post a video or go live. Also, another great way to get notified and stay up to date with what I'm doing on my channel is to hit the Telegram link in the description below on YouTube and TikTok. That way you get notified whenever I go live or post a video on YouTube. So yeah, that's kind of what we got going on. I do want to see what the markets are doing. Um, Crypto Fear Greed Index, it's been a very, very, if ever, but a very long time if I have seen it this low before. We are currently at 6 on the Crypto Fear Greed Index. And I think another place actually said 5 for today, so it just depends on where you're looking. But, I mean, that is extremely low. I'm going to get the music going. So that's extremely low. That's record-breaking low. So that's something to take advantage of. Now, this is not financial advice, but I mean, if you believe in investing in crypto for the next 5 to 10 years, these are prices you want to accumulate. Anything, I've said this many times, anytime you're in the single digits or even at 10 on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, that's a great time to buy. And now we're well into the single digits, really speaking. And I don't think we'll be here long, but at the same time, I still see more downside. So maybe we will be in the single digits for the rest of the month. We'll see what happens. I will give you what I think is going to happen next. But that is one thing to look at. It's just the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Right now, we are going to go look at Bookmap. If you guys are new, Bookmap basically tells you where all the liquidity is lying on Bitcoin. On the left hand side, you'll have the weekly time frame, and then on the right hand side, you'll have the daily time frame. So, the weekly time frame to me tells that Bookmap suggests that we're going to go down to 60,000 again for a retest, and then below that, you have a little bit less liquidity at 55,000. But the biggest blob of liquidity I see on the weekly time frame still remains down at 55,000 at $60,000. I mean, you switch over to the right, you have you have a lot of liquidity at 74.5. And to me, that's the biggest area of liquidity is up here at $74,500 for Bitcoin, at least on the daily time frame. Now, you have liquidity as well at like 65,000. You have liquidity as well at 63. But if I had to say the biggest blob I see on the daily is up at 74.5. So I wouldn't surprise me at all if we hit 74.5. Maybe even 80,000 and then come back down to 60,000 in 2 or 3 months. That wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I don't know what it's doing right now. But that wouldn't surprise me one bit. So I'm going to open up another TradingView chart and we are going to go look at TradingView. So if you guys have requests, what is going on? Why is it being weird? My computer's glitching like crazy. Holy crap, what is happening? I'm confused at what's going on right now. What is going on? I just restarted my computer. It should not be doing weird stuff like this. I'm not touching my computer at all. I might have to restart my computer again because this is bizarre. Okay, this is retarded. This is ridiculous. I just restarted my computer and it's going bonkers. It's absolutely going bonkers. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, we're gonna have to restart this stream. I don't know what's going on. I literally have no clue what's going on. I can't even restart it. It won't even let me restart my computer. We were fine for the first few minutes. Okay, we're back. And I still am not completely convinced that we're back. We'll see, though. That's frustrating. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin and we'll try to continue this.
See, I don't know if it's just being like what I didn't click that. Oh my word! I don't think this is gonna work. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I don't. Okay, let's try something else. I'm gonna shut down the computer. Okay, let's try this one more time. Oh my word! I have to open all these new tabs again. Bear with me. Absolutely bonkers. That was ridiculous. So I'm gonna do a. I'm gonna do make sure the YouTube thing is working. With me. Wow, we're back live on YouTube. Let's go. All right, let's try this one more time. Third time's a charm, guys. Here we go. So, sound okay. I think we're back now. We're 100% back. I guess I tried to go live too early, and the computer did not like that. That was bizarre. I want to go look at Bitcoin. Let me start on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, and we're gonna work our way up. So right now, daily time frame is starting to get the bounce on the stock RSI, but at the end of the day, it does look like it's struggling a little bit to get that bounce. And I see more downside for Bitcoin. Like I see a lower high coming in. The 12-hour time frame is overbought. In my opinion, that could be considered tweezer tops at 72,000 on the 12-hour time frame. I look at the 8-hour time frame, not phenomenal. I look at the 6-hour time frame, not phenomenal. And then you look at the 4-hour time frame, kind of just like the 6 and 8-hour, not phenomenal. You know, and you're overbought on the 4-hour time frame. The 3-hour time frame is overbought. The 2-hour time frame is not overbought. But that looks really weird. Like, well, that to me, that you know what this looks like? This looks like a rounded top. So that looks like a rounded top, and it looks like we could go lower. So then I jumped down to the 1-hour time frame right now, and I drew this in. I drew this right now. I drew this maybe like an hour ago, and I posted a YouTube short about this. It looks like we are going to go right now and make a rising wedge here. So this is like a rising wedge. This is a lower high. This is when you go up pretty fast, but you don't have much buying power. And I get the measured move for this rising wedge from taking it from the top of this wick to the bottom of this wick. And I think I did that pretty accurately. Your measure move out of this rising wedge to the downside for Bitcoin would be $65,500. Now, you have not started to really get a move to the downside out of this rising wedge, but it does not look phenomenal to me. It looks like we are going to go further to the downside. So, there's a lot of things pointing to me that we're making a dead cat bounce here, a little bit of a rally, and then we're just going to roll over here. So, hopefully we can get some. I don't know why the half-hour time frame won't load. The 15-minute time frame is overbought, coming to the downside, and 30-minute 3 doesn't want to load. 10-minute time frame right now doesn't want to load. What is going on, bro? So I just see more downside. Is a 5-minute going to load? Okay, I'm reloading this chart. This is insane. Nothing wants to work today. So I look at the 5-minute time frame right now, and it looks like it's rolling over. And it used to be hard for me to see this pattern, but I see this as a left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder, and it looks like we're going to start dumping. Now, that's just what I see. I could be so wrong. I would say that this is your neckline if that's the case, right there. I'm going to delete some of this stuff because I don't want it to be too much. But I do want to humor this thought and see if this is going to really happen. That measure move would be 69,000. That's only a downside of $400. So I guess I won't be that worried about the head and shoulders. But I do see more downside either way for Bitcoin right now. It does look like we do want to go further to the downside. And I would say leave this as a rising wedge. with the measure move of $65,500. Going back to the 15-minute time frame, curving down on the stock RSI, it's about to at least. And then we have the half-hour time frame for still does not want to load. I don't understand why, but it looks like we are going to go further to the downside. The 1 hour time frame overbought, so I see more downside, guys. If I had to call it, I would say next week you're gonna see 65,000. It could happen over the weekend, but I think the most likely scenario is that we go further to the downside. And I haven't talked about this on the channel for a long time, but this is like an Adam and Eve double top. So you have a rising wedge, but at the same time, the larger pattern on the 1 hour time frame is a rounded top. And then you roll over. Or you could even say it's a inverted cup and handle, which is bearish. That even looks more the likely scenario, is it's an inverted cup and handle. There's your rounded bottom, there's your cup, and then here's your handle, and then you dump to the downside. I see the inverted cup and handle more than I see what I just said before. So we'll see what happens, but either way, any way you draw it up, whether you call it a rising wedge, inverted cup and handle, the measure move remains the same at $65,500. So that looks like the most likely scenario to me, that we are going to go further to the downside. So, yeah, that's what I see. I'm going to call it right now. I think in the next 7 days, you at least revisit 65.5. So we'll see what happens, but that's my update on Bitcoin. I'll leave it at that. If you really want to look for a major sign that we are going to roll over, short term at least, I would be bearish if Bitcoin is below the 5-minute 200. And right now, you're above the 5-minute 200. So if Bitcoin were to lose 69,000, that'd be very bearish, and that would almost guarantee that we're going towards that target of 65.5. So that's kind of my thought. Right now, you're still golden. I guess if you stay above the 5-minute 200, you just got back above it. But if you lose the 5-minute 200-day moving average, I would be looking for a bigger move back down to 65.5 on Bitcoin. If you do not lose the 5-minute 200, I would not short Bitcoin. I just would not. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and we will look at them. But that is kind of my thought process on that. Thank you for the likes on YouTube and for the likes on TikTok. What about now? Not quite sure what that means, but we just went over Bitcoin, so that's what I think. What about now could mean the 5-minute 200. Yeah, if you stay above it, I'm bullish on that. So that's kind of my update on Bitcoin. I will leave it at that. As long as you hold 69,000, you're good. If you lose 69K, I'm looking for 65.5, 65.6 to be the target to the downside. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. If you guys have other requests, let me know and I'll look at them. But that's kind of what I see going on for Bitcoin. I think a lot of altcoins are just going to follow whatever Bitcoin does. And yeah, I'm just going through some of these alts right now. XMR kind of going sideways. Well, the low today was 321. I took a short down to 323, so 321 was the low. Almost 322. 321.90 was the low. So XMR is just in chop, in my opinion, at this point. I saw this as a head and shoulders pattern, and it dumped to the downside, and you did eventually hit the measure. Wow, it barely hit the measure move at 322, but it did hit it. This is a harder one to see, the head and shoulders pattern here. Let me zoom in. But I saw this head and shoulders pattern here, and I took the short. That's a very hard one to see, but that's what I saw. That little divot there made the right shoulder. That crazy wick down made the right shoulder. And when you had that crazy wick there, it also helped. So, I don't know. I saw that is a hard head and shoulders to say. I will say that. But I saw that as a head and shoulders, and it hit the exact measure move of 321.97. That crazy little wick right there gave you just enough to hit the take profit. I had my take profit higher at 323. But yeah, XMR. So, but on XMR right now, I could be bullish. You're on a flag above the 200-day move, above the 200-day moving average. And like right now, if you make this flag, you could probably pump. You oversold also on the 2-minute 200. I'm sorry, on the 2-minute time frame, you're oversold on the RSI. So, if this does continue to go sideways and flag out, your measured move is 339.4 XMR. So that's a thought. That's just something fun to look at. I could see that, actually doing damage, but Bitcoin must stay above the 5-minute 200. If that doesn't happen, this isn't going to play out. So this seems like somewhat high risk, but it looks somewhat halfway decent. Yeah. So if you guys have requests, let me know. Otherwise, that's going to kind of wrap up this. I'm going to stay live a little bit longer. I could see this pumping. Should I take a long on XMR right now? Should we just see what happens? I might do it. It looks good. Stop loss would be 326. It looks entertaining. XMR. Okay. Um, Let me go back to XMR, just make sure. Yeah, I'm taking that. I'm taking that long. Let's go. Okay. So we took the long. Let me go back and see the measure move. The measure move, I would say, I'm going to take profits at 338. Okay. I also need to make sure I put my stop loss in at 320. So 326.5 and 338. 326.5 and 338. I would make $129 if this hits, and I would lose 65. That's not a very good R&R. I'm going to raise that to 327, and then that's still not a very good R&R. Well, we're in the trade now, so whatever. Okay. It does look like it's going to... Yeah, so 326. Yeah, if you hit 327, it's probably dumping. So I think that's fine. It's not a 3-to-1. It should be. But either way, it looks like it's going to happen. Take profit would be... Let me just make sure I got the right measure move for this little flag here. Just want to make sure I'm doing this perfect because it's very important. If I have the measure move too high and then it doesn't hit it, I'm out of luck. Wow, maybe the measure move is only 338 on this. I'm going to go with 338. Right now, we're down $3 in the trade. Our break-even net price is 330.78. So, okay, that's my free trade of the night. It's not great because the R&R is not perfect. Either way, it looks likely to pump. It's a nice flag above the 200. It looks pretty good actually. TRA, it's a new coin that came out the other day. It's something else I did want to talk about. It just looks like a scam to me, but you went from all the way at the low, at least where it came out on weeks, like well below a penny, and then it went all the way to almost 3 cents. I mean, I don't know. So I'm not quite sure what this is. The market cap is about $50 million. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I did take a short on it, though. We'll see what happens. Stop loss below the 2-minute, 200-day smooth moving average. That's coming in at 20. So we'll see what happens. Thoughts on Ethereum? No, I don't have thoughts on Ethereum. I don't know what XAU is either. XAU. Above the 4-hour 200? It must be a brand new coin. So if you stay above 4,900, I could see a move to 5,600 coming on that. I don't know what it is. I'm done with that one. Ethereum, 4 hour below the 200. Pretty much like Bitcoin daily, lackluster, 12 hours overbought. So, you know, it's obviously in a bear market, just like Bitcoin. Um, I would assume it's going to follow whatever Bitcoin does. Um, Short term, you could get a pump, I would think, but at the end of the day, I would think if Bitcoin looks like it's going to roll over, this is just going to follow whatever Bitcoin does. I will give you credit. It looks like this could be an ascending triangle that could break out. I believe they're 50-50 patterns, but I feel like they break out more than 50-50. So there's your conservative measure move. I would say to about $2,300, 2,320 at most. Conservative measure move is 2,300 on Ethereum. Ethereum it looks halfway decent right now. All right, let's go back to XMR. So that's my thought on those two. I trade Bitcoin USDT. I have traded USD, but I don't do it really ever. Maybe once I have. Okay, so we'll see. I'm gonna stay live and we'll see if I win this trade or not on XMR Monero. Still looks decent. Still going. I want that candle to close green. Not looking fantastic. Doesn't look horrible. Let me look at the 1 minute. Was I on the 3 minute? I thought I was on the 2 minute. So 326.60. Maybe that's why I was confusing. Just check some. Yeah, measure move is 338. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it as much anymore. We'll see what happens though. Well, that's gonna kind of wrap it up. That's everything I wanted to go over. We'll see if I win this trade. Uh, but that's kind of my update, guys, on the market. If Bitcoin loses 69,000, I'm very bearish on Bitcoin. I would be looking for then a move. Yeah, if you lose 68,990, basically 69,000, you're losing the 5 minute 200. If you lose the 5 minute 200, I would think the larger measure move of this rising wedge is coming to the downside down to 65.7, 65.6. I'll leave it at that. That's my update, guys, on the market. I'll be back live on Tuesday night. Right now, I'm playing at 9 p.m. Central Time. If that changes, I'll let you guys know in the Telegram group. That is free to join. Link to join is in the description below. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Yeah, let me go to the 1 minute time frame really quickly on this. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad in my opinion right now. XMR doesn't look horrible. It doesn't look great, but this flag could pump. It would help a lot if Bitcoin would go up a little bit. But haha, maybe we have a chance. If I go to the 1 minute time frame, maybe it's easier to see. Whoops. I could see a possible inverted head and shoulders here. It's not great. That's pretty rough. That's pretty much pushing it. I don't know. That's pushing it. But, left shoulder, head, right. That's probably pushing my luck a little bit to say that's a head and shoulders pattern, or inverted head and shoulders. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's pushing it. But I still think it looks like a decent long. I wouldn't trade that head and shoulders because that's inverted head and shoulders because that's really pushing it. It still looks like a ascending triangle or bull flag that can pump though. It does to me. You need to get some green candles though, and in my opinion, heck, if you lose 328.5, it's over. So to be fair, I should move my stop to 328.5. That way, if I lose, I don't lose as much. It's closer to price action, but I'm not sure. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'll see you guys Tuesday night for the next live stream. Until then, trade safe. Have a great night. I'll see you guys the next one. Adios. Goodbye. Oh, someone posted. Looks like I'm only viewer here on your stream. How are you? I'm doing great, Bees Halves. We have people watching on TikTok. We did look at Ethereum, but we can go look at Ethereum again. I don't know why no one watches on YouTube anymore. We used to have more people, and now like almost no one ever does. So Ethereum, I just said Ethereum could get a move if Bitcoin cooperates and stays above 69,000. I can see this as an ascending triangle going to about 2,300, but you have to look at the larger time frames as well. That could happen short term, longer term. Daily time frame is oversold, still could get the bounce. I'm looking at the 12-hour being bearish. I will say in the grand scheme of things on all time frames across the board, I think Ethereum looks more bullish than Bitcoin. That makes me want to go look at Ethereum Bitcoin because if Ethereum Bitcoin is going up, that means Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin, and that means altcoins could have some sort of rally. 4 hours below the 200, I don't love that. The daily's below the 200, so maybe it's not ready quite yet. Smaller time frames like the 1 hour and under look halfway bullish on Ethereum Bitcoin, suggesting Ethereum could rally a little bit. But in general, the higher time frames look bearish to me. Although you know what I do really like as well is this is around the bottom, and that usually gets you a nice move to the upside. And the next resistance I see would be about 32 on Ethereum Bitcoin. So you could see a nice rally on Ethereum, in my opinion, over the next 1 to 3 days, and maybe Ethereum over the next 1 to 3 days. It seems 70-80% chance. I think Monday. Monday and Tuesday, we could see Ethereum outperform Bitcoin over the next 3 days or so. That's just my update. I think Ethereum does look slightly more bullish than Bitcoin, but not fantastic. This looks like it's going to dump now. Doesn't it? You're above the 200. I mean, if you hold this trend line, I guess we're good. If you lose that trend line, it's over. Still, it could stay. It could be filling out the flag. You know. Let me go back to the 1 minute. I don't know. It could be fine. You're above the 200. You're still in the flag. As far as I drew, you're still in the flag. So it doesn't look fantastic, but I don't think it looks bad either. It doesn't look horrible. Price action touching the 21. I don't like the 5 minute that's still coming down. That's not great. 15's currently rolling over. So at this point, guys, I probably will not win that trade. I'm trying to have a little bit of hope here. I mean, to be fair, as long as we hold 328.5, that's what I said. We're good. I don't know if we're going to do that, though. We're very close to that level. Hello, Jet. Thank you for joining the Telegram group. I appreciate that. So that's going to kind of wrap it up, guys. We go back to YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great night. Adios. Goodbye. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for the next live stream around. Right now, I'm playing at 9 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday. If I have to change that, I'll let you guys know in the Telegram group. Adios. Now, I'm wondering how the entire